Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to another edition of the Monie podcast. I'm your girl Monie, and it's Valentine's Day weekend. So happy Valentine's Day, everyone. You know, if you're single, dating, engaged, married, or it's complicated, today's episode is for you. There's something powerful about love that lasts. Not just butterflies, not just vibes, not just the fluffy stuff, but love that survives seasons, love that matures, love that fights to stay. And today, I have such a beautiful couple in the studio. When I say beautiful, I don't just mean physically, although, let's be honest, they are that couple. But what really drew me to them is how they openly show and celebrate each other. They post their date nights, they celebrate the small moments, they show up intentionally. And in a world where healthy love sometimes feels rare, they make it look possible. So today on this Valentine's Day weekend, special edition of the Monie podcast, we're going to be talking about faith, friendships, trials, mental health, marriage, date night, and what it actually takes to build something that lasts. Please help me welcome my guests, Alana and Dennis Dunkley. Hi, guys.
How's it going? Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you guys for, accepting the invitation to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what really drew me to, having you guys is just your posts online, just seeing how you guys openly show your love and affection. And I was like, yeah, I like what they got going on here. Let's see if we can find out, how they're making it work and just a little bit more background as to, who you guys are and how you met and everything. So I just wanted to say, thanks for being here and giving the listeners and our viewers something that they can walk away with. So let's touch on individual. I just want to go individual with your backgrounds. I want to start off with you, Alana.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you grow up? Like, tell us a little bit of your background. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up all over the GTA. I was in Malton, Toronto, Malton, big up Malton. Then I was over in Saga. I basically landed in Saga
Yeah.
most of my life. So
Okay.
moved around a lot. As a child, I moved around a lot. But basically between Malton and Saga, that's
That's where you were, yeah? Okay, I'm a Malton too. So when you said it, I'm just like, Malton.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that.
There's quite a few of my guests that mentioned Malton. I'm just like, that Malton has a little community. We probably even passed each other and not even know.
Yeah.
Dennis, tell me a little bit about your background. Where'd you grow up?
Okay, so grew up similar to Alana. I started out somewhere else. Born in Toronto.
Okay.
I was in Toronto. My mother was a single mother. She did her best with me. Unfortunately, she passed away when I was 7 years old in a car accident.
Oh, sorry to hear
And
that.
I went to go, thanks. And I went to go live with my grandparents. I bounced around a bit. First, I was with my dad, my stepmother. Ended up with my grandparents in Mississauga. So I would say I claim Mississauga as my
As
my-
your,
my
yes.
city, that's where I pretty much spent my formative years. And
Yeah, nice. Okay, Toronto and Malton. Now, what was love modeled like in the households for the both of you? What did that look like?
So for me, my parents were not together, but they remained friends, even though they were divorced. So love was modeled as showing up and being there for care. I don't know if you know, but my background has a lot of mental illness.
Yes, I know.
Serious
I know.
schizophrenia. So there's a lot of necessity of my father showing up in times where I needed him, and where my mom needed him, and my little sister, who was not his child, also needed him. And then later, being diagnosed with schizophrenia himself, me showing up for him. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
cycle. It's a cycle, right? So Basically, it was modeled as care. And I knew that my dad loved me because of the friendship we developed. Even like in my like tween years and teen years, I would like rush home and call my dad and be like, Dad, I have to tell you something. Like that was my friend.
Yeah.
So I always knew that I wanted somebody like that, and have that relationship with whoever I chose to be with.
Love that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, similar. Unfortunately, my parents, they were not together in a relationship. I, like I said, my mom raised me single-handedly for the first 7 years of my life. And she, of course, modeled love amazingly.
It's amazing.
By the time I went to my dad's side of the family, I wasn't as close to my father as I wish I could have been.
Yeah.
Just, things were not as good as I wish they were in that relationship. But my grandparents, who are his parents, treated me like one of their own.
Yeah.
I felt like I didn't feel like the grandchild. I felt like one of the kids, right? So they were pretty much my parents for a long time, and their love was so unlike her family. Her family is more expressive with their love, or more
outgoing, like,
based.
Yeah. My family, they were Kingstonians. They were very
yes, the Kingstonians.
Yeah, so the love was shown in what they did.
Okay.
Not so much with the words.
What they said.
They showed me they loved me by just the way that
their actions. Yeah.
Like here's a little something, a little money, whatever. But it was more like it wasn't as expressive.
Yeah.
But I knew that they loved me.
Yes.
So I had that, and then of course, other members of the family. My uncle, I'm very close with my uncle. He has 4 kids of his own, but he still treated me, and till this day, we have a great relationship. And still, I kind of feel like I have a great relationship with him, and he showed me a lot of masculine love, like just love.
Yes,
that I needed.
That's
to
important.
See
from a male. Yeah, that's true.
Father figure.
And that's missing a lot. So to see that you were able to receive that from someone who's not really your dad, that a lot of men need that. There's a quote that says, you need a man before, you can become a man.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought that was very interesting. So you kind of touch on that a little bit. Both of you come from families that have, it sounds like, broken marriages. Yeah.
My parents weren't even married, but they just they were young when they had me.
Yes.
So they I'm not sure the circumstances of how they met, but ever since I was born, I never had that two-parent
household.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to touch on. Like, what did marriage look like in your upbringing? So you touched on it, saying your parents were not together.
Yeah, no, they weren't together, but I still had lots of family members that were married. And I always had that longing for mommy and daddy to be together, which they ended up being together like in the future, but we won't go there.
Yeah.
That was a whole roller coaster of emotions for me. But yeah, they're not together now. That's
okay.
What the status is. But yeah, there was lots of family members. Like most of my aunts on my dad's side are all married. Have lasting marriages. And yeah, and a lot of my aunts a few of my aunts on my mom's side also had lasting marriages. So I always saw marriages close to me. So it wasn't like a mystery to me what I wanted in a marriage. But yeah, that's what it was for me.
Yeah. And for me, same thing. I my uncle, like I said, married till this day, was married back then. So I've seen that. And I've seen other couples that I've admired who have modeled what marriage looks like.
Yes.
And I chose to kind of glean from that. I wish I had it in my home, but my grandparents, though, they were married for, probably like how much decades ago.
Yeah.
So they were
the grandparents. Yeah. They go strong. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I had them as well to look up to. So.
Oh, nice. I want to touch a little bit on your careers, a little bit of what you guys do for a living. What sector of work do each of you currently work in? Or
I'm in the stay-at-home mom sector of work.
That's a nice word.
But I'm venturing into psychiatry.
Oh, nice.
Psychology. So I'm doing my master's currently.
Okay.
Working towards that. And I was in mental health for a little bit, doing employee mental health, and as well as seminars. And I'm venturing back into that. I recently got an opportunity for doing seminars with an employee
That's really
organization.
Good. Nice.
That's kind of gonna be my sector of work for now. And I'm also working part-time at a group home for
That's
people
really good.
with mental challenges.
See, that's all in her field, her background. She's a big mental health advocate. I can't wait to touch on some of that with you. Go ahead, let me hear you.
So I also had spent 15 years working in a group home with people with developmental delays and some mental health and so on. So I did that for 15 years. More recently, or I would say the last 3 years, I transitioned into law enforcement.
Okay.
So that's what I'm in now for the past 3 years or so.
Amazing.
And yeah, that's where I'm at.
That is so cool. Law enforcement. Can I ask how old the both of you are?
Sure.
Oh my God.
Or the gap.
Why couldn't it be a few months ago? So I'm 40.
Just turned 40.
There's nothing wrong with that. 40.
Yeah, and I'm 43.
Yeah.
40, 43. Okay. There's no big gap there or anything. That's nice. You're at the prime of your life,
Thank you.
as they say. I want to touch on the love story. It's Valentine's weekend. We want to touch on what love looks like, how you guys make it last. How did y'all meet? That's the question.
I'll let her tell that story.
All right, Alana, tell us. How did you guys meet?
We met on the bus.
On the bus?
Yeah.
Brampton Transit, TTC.
Was the Mississauga
Number
bus
one.
number one bus?
Wow, down to the bus number they remember.
Number one. Yes.
Dundas in here in Ontario. Okay. I thought it was that one.
No, yeah, we did. We met on the bus. I was on literally my last day of high school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Summer, summer schools out type of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's the-
I got a picture of this. I got a picture it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Day after prom, like
Okay. Yes.
dolled up,
Mhm.
like, yeah.
I see it. Okay.
And he's on his way to post-secondary. And I used to see him on the bus and think like, he's like an old man or something. Like, I literally was confused. But that day that I saw him, I was like, oh, he's young. Because
He looks a bit youngish. Yes.
here, like he's wearing back pants and do-rag. And I'm like, this
That's
guy's,
okay,
this
yeah.
guy's like a younger guy. Okay.
So
Oh,
before she tells the story incorrectly,
Okay.
she talks to me first.
Oh, that's brave.
I did
Yes.
because I was asking him the time. That's funny.
Yes, that's the
I was sitting
segue.
there
That was
minding
the
my
segue. Do you know what time it is?
Because I was late. I was literally late.
And back then, probably like, when was this? And you said high school, probably in
2003.
2000, back in
Yeah.
2003.
It's a long. I feel so sick.
2003. Okay. So you didn't have watch and phone and thing. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
She planned it.
Genuinely, like, I don't know what time it is right now.
All right. So you asked him the time. Go on.
Well, okay, I guess I'll tell her.
Yes,
other
and
part.
you
so
pick
yeah,
up
so
that
I
one.
was sitting there on the bus and I noticed her and I'm like, okay, it's a pretty girl, but I was just minding my business on my way to school and then she asked for the time
Oh, please.
and I saw an opportunity there. I'm like, you know what? Let me just, let me talk a little more. See this up. So I asked her. We talked a little bit. She was getting off, so before she got off, I was like, okay, I want to get a number. So I asked for her number and she was like, she hit me with the
I don't have a phone.
I'm not going to give you my number, but I'll take yours, right?
Yes,
So
the
that-
classic
yeah.
line. Classic.
So at that point, I took it as a rejection and I kind of put it out of my head. And
Yeah.
then she actually called.
Ah.
So yeah, then we had a good conversation, and from there was
That's how it went? Because you're laughing.
Sorry, because
Is that how it went?
nobody
that is how it went.
all the way to the back of the bus and sits right in front of you when
Every other seat is empty. Aha.
nice try.
Well,
Nice try.
I didn't talk first though. I was thinking about it.
You didn't talk first. You're right about that.
Oh, wow, I can see it. Oh, on the bus.
He was definitely on the bus.
So it was you noticed him first, would you say, or he noticed each other? Eh? You're like, okay, we're gonna have to make this.
We seen each other on the bus before, but we just
never talked.
We both didn't look that dressed up or appealing or whatever to each other, and I was like, oh,
you look youngish today. Let's. Oh, that's nice. So kind of see who made the first move and everything. So after that, now we're going to fast forward just a little bit. How long did you date each other before?
So we initially dated for what,
not even a year.
Not even a year.
So we dated, and I think one of the big things that we couldn't get over was the denominational difference.
Really?
Yeah. So, well, I was okay with it, but he was very.
Yeah. Tell me about that.
So she was. She was Adventist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And at first it wasn't an issue. I was kind of looking it.
Yes.
But you get enough times where it's like, hey, let's go to the movie. Oh, it's Friday night. Oh, you can't go.
Yes.
Let's do something on Saturday. No, I can't. And eventually it became like, okay, I'm not sure if this is really work. So we called it off. Took a little break. Well, we called it off. We didn't know it was a break at the time, but we called it off. And then 2 years later, we stayed in touch.
2 years later.
2 years later. 2 years.
Yeah. And I think it was like 3 years.
Really?
It's actually like 3 years. Yeah.
Wow.
But we stayed in touch still.
Yeah, we stayed in touch. We were still friends. Then we got back together, and then I think maybe I knew if I got back together with this guy, I'm marrying him.
Yeah. Like, I don't have no time for waste. We don't have time to waste. This is it. Okay, go on.
I was young. Like we were young.
Yes.
Like now I'm like looking at 21-year-old and like, you're a baby.
Yeah.
And now like back then I was like, I'm a grown woman. But yeah, I just knew like this is the guy I'm with forever.
Nice.
So we got back together, and I think within the 2-year period, I think we were engaged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice. When did you realize she was the one? She kind of touched on it when she said when she got back with you, she was like, yeah.
Yeah, and similarly, so during that I guess 3-year break, she says she didn't talk to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could say the same, but I did try to, like I went on a few dates and tried to, see what was out there, and nothing really compared, right?
Yeah.
So by the time we got back, I'm like, I had my time out there trying to see if there's anybody else, and just nobody else compared. So when we got back together, similarly, I was like, okay, I'm in it.
This feels right. Yeah, it's almost like you were trying to find that right fit, and it just didn't feel. You didn't have that connection when you got back with her. You're like, this feels like home.
And then by that time, also the denominational thing, she, I guess, to her mom's dismay, started coming to, church with us and with me. And stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I was already. I think during the breakup time, it was just sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I was sort of a blank slate, and then going back into the relationship, I was like, yeah,
you're just gonna open up to
let's go to church together. Why not? Yeah.
And that was easy for you to just make that transition, mainly because of him. Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people struggle with that. And you see how you said, I don't know if it was gonna work because Saturday she wasn't available, and a lot of people end it there. They don't even pursue the person due to that faith belief and how they worship. So I'm glad you guys were able to get over that little hump there.
It was tough, but we got over it. So.
Was there any a moment that you guys doubted it? Like, was there ever a moment that you're like, yeah, this not gonna work really? I think you touched on it. What was yours? That you're like,
oh, when we were dating,
that you're like,
just it was more like me thinking that he had moved on because we had the breakup.
Yes.
So, but then I got a text.
A text.
Tell
us what the text said.
My university class. I was like, what is this?
Do you remember what it said?
Oh, I was about to say. Like, I want to get back together, and I'm just like,
it was a long one. It was a long text.
No, it was short.
Okay, okay.
Like
So we had
short and sweet.
you or something, and it was very ominously romantic and like.
so we had done we were both doing music. I was doing my music, and she was, you know, singing. So I had brought her to the studio, and, you know, picked her up, brought her to the studio, was there for the session, brought her back home, and I just felt like that night was a night where I'm like, yeah, you know what, I really like this girl. So the next day I sent her the text saying, hey, let's just try again.
Let's just make this official.
Yeah.
Aww. I like this. It's like a movie. I'm just playing every moment in my mind, every bits and pieces of you guys are telling me. Gotta love love. We're gonna move on to faith and foundation. You know, it's very important. You know, one thing I notice about couples who last is that they usually have something bigger than themselves that's anchoring them, you know, to like keep going. You know, for some, it's the shared values. For others, it's legacy. And for strong couples, it's faith. That's one thing that's really, you know, the anchor for them. So for me personally, I've realized that when I try to handle things like on my own, like in my own strength, I basically exhaust myself. And, but when I surrender and just leave it to God, that's where, you know, there's a different kind of peace. So how important is faith in your marriage, would you say?
So from the very foundation, that was the foundation.
Yes.
That was something that, as you heard, it was such a thing that we actually broke up because of our different views on that.
Yes.
But we did have the same values even back then, and we still have the same values. I would say it's been like, there was a lot of times early on in the relationship when we probably would have called it quits.
Yeah.
But we did have that faith, right, component. And yeah, I would say that, you know, like, it's definitely foundational and played a big part in getting us where we are now.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It definitely played a big part in where we are. Although, like, at this point in my life, it's not, faith is not like Christianity and faith is not like the center of my world the way that it used to be. Yes. To be completely honest.
Okay.
I have deconstructed a lot, and it is something that I recognize as foundational for a lot of people. And it's something that I have grown to understand in a different way. Basically.
Yeah. I totally get that. She's saying it, and I was like, yeah, I get what you mean. You know, I've been there myself, where I had to kind of question certain things and look into my own self and decide, like, what do you want to do? How do you want to serve?
One thing I will say is that is one thing that I think I value in our relationship, the fact that we can be honest with each other.
Yes.
And we can bring those questions and things to each other.
Exactly.
And there's no like, we just talk about it. We some things we're on the same page. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I value about our relationship is truly a friendship. I've come across couples who have to go outside of their marriage to talk to friends to be like, oh, I'm really feeling this and thinking this, but I would never tell my wife because she would kill me, or she would be like, how could you? But that's one thing I value.
You don't have to do that. You can keep it in.
Honest. Yeah, we kind of from the beginning said, hey, anything that you're thinking about, anything that you're feeling, let's talk about it, and we'll get through it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I value that.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Love that a lot. Do you think your marriage would have survived the same without God at the center of it?
I feel like like I said before, I kind of touched on it already. In the beginning, no. In the beginning, no. It was definitely a foundation.
And especially because of our upbringing.
Yeah, that's another part of it.
Are deeply religious. Both sides of my family are SDA, like hardcore SDA. My grandfather was like,
yeah,
how about time?
So you know what that means? That's a hardcore
SDA, man.
Yeah,
it was serious. I think for me, like all the denominational differences and the beliefs and all that, I think, and just like the amount of churches and everything,
Yeah.
getting restless that I've been through. I think it just got overwhelming.
Well, man, yeah, I could see
I
that.
needed a break. Like,
Yeah.
and then even just like, well, probably going to get into it later,
Yes.
but like a lot of the mental health issues and stuff, it stemmed from things that I was taught in the church, and I just needed to
Step away from that. Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard for me to say.
No, we got to be real.
It's honest. Like it's not like when you've been brought up in the faith and you've been through real life, it's not as clean and as nice as
I thought it should be.
Yeah, that's me personally.
No. I love that. Love that. Love that. I'm sure listeners and our viewers, you know what's up. You guys can relate to that. Did you want to add anything to what she said there?
No, I think she.
Yeah.
I think she did a good job. Covered it.
Do you guys currently pray together as a couple?
So, we're being honest here.
Yeah.
Being honest here, right? It's an honest podcast. Being
This
honest.
is an honest podcast.
I'm not sure if these are the answers you were looking for.
No, we want it
But
raw and real.
We are. If we're being real, right now we are. I'm on the same page as her. We're on a path of like, okay, what does we were taught prayer looks like this. We were taught, things look like
Relationship with God
looks like this through this lens, and we kind of have been on a journey where we're kind of figuring out like
What it looks like to you.
exactly, right? Like what is this like? What does this thing look like to us, right?
And that's
So-
what deconstruction is, like rebuilding what your faith looks like, what your relationship with God looks like, and that's kind of like where we are.
Okay. They answered that question. Okay. They answered that question. Has there been seasons where one of you was more spiritually stronger or more mentally stronger
Okay,
than
stronger.
the other?
I don't know if you're going to handle the word stronger. I was definitely, throughout the majority of our relationship, I would say, and you can tell me if you disagree.
Yeah.
She's
like, let's hear
I
it.
would say I was definitely more, what's the word? How can I frame this? I was definitely more of a zealot, I would say.
Okay. Okay.
Would you agree with that?
What
She's
about
like,
the music scene?
oh,
A
okay.
little bit when I had to like remind you.
Oh, yes. So there was a point. This is during, so
Come on, get to it.
so any
Christ.
hip hop fans that we have here watching the podcast,
Yes.
Toronto, we got Drake and all them people from Toronto doing their thing now.
Mm-hmm.
So around that time, that was shortly after we got married, or right around the time we got married.
Yeah.
And I was doing music. I was making beats.
Yes.
And I was starting to see, oh man, Toronto has talent, and there's people that are big now that I used to be in the same studios with, and that I've talked to and that I've made music with.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kind of lost track, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm still gonna be Christian in the church, but I'm gonna start selling some beats to some mainstream guys and so on. I was starting to make some connections with mainstream guys, and she actually was basically like, listen, I didn't sign up I signed up to follow you following God. I didn't sign up for you to get distracted and go out into the world and so on and so on. So that was a thing in the beginning. Fast forward, I guess I would say I was more like, we'd have arguments about social issues.
Okay.
And I would be more like, well, no, we have to vote like this. We have to think like this because we are
this.
Yes.
Yes.
We have to,
yes.
you know what I mean?
This is so.
And she was always more like, why do we like
have to do it that way? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's always been more like, we need to follow these rules.
Yeah.
As the church says we should follow these rules.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks like to be a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And aesthetically, this is how it came off to me. Like, aesthetically, we need to represent. But for me, I did not have that fear.
Okay.
Like, I've always just been kind of fearless and not care about what people think about me in general. So I'm just like, but this is how I feel.
Yeah.
So why am I going to pretend like I don't have these questions about LGBTQ, about politics, about why do I have to pretend like just so that I can put forward a nice face for the church? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. if somebody else wants to do that, they can do that, but that's just
I'm not doing that. Yeah.
So that's kind of where that came from. But I think that's just a difference in personalities.
And you guys were able to come to a common ground on that. Because I identify more with Dennis. Like, just hearing you share that, I was like, I would have probably been more like him, like, but we have to, and this is what they said, and we have, that fear.
Yeah, I never identified with that.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
I have always, like, from the day one, like, even questioning my Seventh-day Adventist faith. You know how crazy that was?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean? You can't question this. Both sides of my family and most of my friends.
It is what it is. Yes,
to say, like, wait, where does it say we have to worship only on Saturday?
What? How dare you ask that question?
So for me to even go there was a lot. So I've always been that way. But ever since I asked that question, I've been like, I don't care.
They just kept coming after.
I'm the type of person, I need to understand the root of what I'm doing before I dedicate myself
fully to it.
So that's just the type of person I am.
That's true. You were going to say something there, Dennis.
No, I mean, just, like I was always more, okay, this is what we're supposed to do this, rule following, but I would say to answer your question, I think the question you asked was, how did we get through that?
Yes. Because I think that's a big one. That's big. It's hard.
It was, we chose to focus on the things that we did align on. We chose to focus on that, especially when we had kids. We were like, okay, what are the non-negotiables? What are things that we're going to focus on?
Yes.
You know what I mean? You might, especially like, well, we're being honest here. When it came to the LGBTQ stuff, I was more like, with the line, oh yeah, hate the sin, don't hate the sinner. But I was more like, I'm not going to post anything that would make people think that I'm in alignment with that. Right?
Yes.
Whereas she would post it.
So
she would post it, and I'd be like, oh, I don't want people to think
that we're together on that.
But I kind of just chose to be like, okay, what are the things that we do?
Wow.
And let me hear you all. Let me hear why you you think what you think. And
that's one thing.
And I would listen to her, and she would say things that I'd be like, you know what? People don't talk about this enough. People don't talk about. People don't ask these questions enough. People don't talk about it enough. So I started to kind of not compromise, but kind of started to. I've always been someone that listens and tries to hear different perspectives. So some of the things that she brought to me, I said, you know what, I can see that. Other things I was like, no, I'm not going to change on that. And other things I was like, you know what, we can agree to disagree. It's not a big issue right now for us. Let's just keep it moving, right? So we didn't let it damage or tarnish our relationship.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's very strong. You guys really were able to show submission and leadership. Because I was getting into that question, but based on everything you guys have shared, you answered it. How you handled disagreements, and what does submission and leadership look like in the marriage, and that's right there. I hope you guys are enjoying our podcast right now. We have Alana and Dennis. Tell me about the music side. The Drew Bex? Drew Bex.
Yeah, so music was I was always like I grew up on hip hop. My story is not that I started, because a lot of guys who do Christian hip hop, their story is they were rapping before, then they got saved, and they switched over. I didn't start rapping until I was in the church. There was a talent show. And they were like, hey, we want you guys to do something. And I was like, me and the other guys were like, what are we going to do? And we were all hip hop fans. We're like, hey, let's put together a rap. We did it. It was well received by some. Some people were like,
don't be rapping in church.
Well, we was well received by some.
Remember those days?
And then we decided to kind of make a group, and we were doing our thing. Back then we were a group called Christ Style. Myself, I don't remember. Some people watching this might know Stephen Jones.
Yes.
Joshua McPherson.
Yes.
Those are the three main guys.
Where are they now? We need a little.
And other guys like Brian, Burrell, and Andrew Reed were in it simultaneously. But
yes.
But yeah, we did that, and then as years went by, I was the only one that stuck with it as far as like wanted to keep it going. I realized there was a whole community worldwide, especially in the US, but worldwide, that was doing it, and I tapped into that, and I kind of became the guy in Canada. So I would go to the States and
That
do
was
it.
a fun time.
Yes.
I must say,
those were the times.
We would travel, go to conferences,
I love
Legacy
Yes.
Chicago, all these different conferences, South by Southwest in Texas, traveling all over. And I took it as far as I think I could take it.
Yeah.
Until one day I'm like, you know what? I'm 40 plus now. And I've switched careers and I don't want to be, I think it's time to just,
switch it.
the music is still there.
Yes.
Still get the streams. It's still available. But as far as making new content, I said, you know what? It's time for me to kind of give it a break now. So
it's true. I remember those days. I remember the talent shows and you rapping at church and stuff like that. Those were the days, you know? You remember?
Yeah.
I felt it was well received, you know, and that's how I got to know your musical side when I saw you in church performing. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, you know, you got down like that. Yeah, very, very nice. You know, I think social media really romanticizes like marriage. You know, that's one thing that I see. We see like cute photos, the vacations, the matching outfits, you know, the anniversary posts and so forth. But we don't always see the middle. You know what I mean? Like the middle of what's going on, like the hard middle, if you will. The silent nights, the moments when you're choosing commitment over feelings, or, you know, and I think it's important, especially Valentine's Day, that we normalize the love. You know, it's not just roses and so forth. Something that it's rebuilding. Sometimes it's rebuilding. So my question is, what has been the hardest season in your marriage so far? The hardest.
I'll let you answer that.
Oh, yes.
I'm more, this is a flaw that I have, but I'm kind of like, she'll tell me, remember when this happened? And I'll be like,
yeah, no.
You take the lead, Alana.
So I think there's probably the biggest issue, I think, was during the time that that's when we connected.
Yes.
Was during my mental health.
So, okay.
In, I believe, 2017, I had a miscarriage. And at the time I just had my one daughter. She was probably around 3-4 years old, and thought everything was fine, thought I was okay, took time off of work and everything. And then months and months later, for some reason, I just had this severe bout of anxiety. Like I literally couldn't work. I didn't sleep for months. And I was staunchly against like taking medication for it for some reason at the time. I don't know why, but it got to a point where I was going to lose my life. So I needed to do something to help myself. And so I got on medication, start to feel better. But during that time, I didn't realize how much he relied on me to hold the family up. So I didn't have much support at that time because I don't think he even really had a model of how do you support somebody who is not well, that was functioning and holding everything together. So for me, coming from my background and my family, as I said, is like very care-centered and very openly expressive of their love and everything. For him, it was like, well, you're not functioning. And he just kind of froze.
Yeah, like I could see that.
There was no, and I'm like, oh, this is what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's surprising.
That's
so he eventually, you know, over time, and you can explain, but over time and learning, we got to a place where, and therapy is so
important.
Especially if one person is going through mental health issues and you don't have a background, you don't really have an understanding of it, please go to therapy at least, and let the therapist explain what the person is going through, because he had no idea how to help me. He was saying things like, aren't you a Christian? Don't you believe?
Yeah.
struggling with anxiety. It was just a lot of that, and he really had no idea.
Deeper, how to support you.
No idea.
Wow. That's interesting.
But, he would do what the obvious things that he's done, like taking care of our dog, washing the dishes, but I was so like non-functional, like to the point where I couldn't even really be left alone anymore. So it was overwhelming, and I think once I hit my rock bottom, I think that's when he realized, like, oh my gosh,
this is bigger than I
this is not gonna be good if I don't support. But you can explain what.
No, I mean,
remember,
I try to think back to those times and think what was my mindset back then. And it feels so different because I feel like I'm so different now. Every now and then she'll remind me. Every now and then I'll slip back into my old default, but I feel like being married to her for so many years, I feel like I've kind of stepped it up as far as, and she can,
and he has,
as far as, supporting. But just this is not an excuse at all, because at some point you gotta take responsibility and become your own person. But I was not, as she mentioned, I that wasn't really modeled for me in that way. The care was similar to what she said. The care was there when it needed to be. Like, I was never going to go hungry. I was never going to go, but if I was sick, there wasn't going to be any patting on the back or anything. It was just like, all right, here's your soup. Just come outside when you're...
Are you talking about with your family?
Yeah, with my family, right? Like, it wasn't really... like I said, not to downplay the love, because the love was there, as far as, like, they just showed love differently. It wasn't like her family where they're very expressive with it. So when I got with her and started to experience some of that with her, like seeing her go through what she was going through, I had to learn to put in that effort, and I had to learn. I had to be intentional. It couldn't just be like I definitely had to work at it. You know what I mean? I'm still, till this day.
Takes work.
Just different personalities, different
I'm the type of person, like, if he has, like, even a cold, like a head cold, I'll wake up and, like, check his temperature in the middle of the night and, like, and get him Tylenol. That's just how I was raised. And also just my family background. I'm the oldest daughter who has schizophrenia.
So,
and a father.
It's kind of embedded in you to be that nurturing.
Literally no other. I don't have another functioning point. Like, I don't know how to even let him do things. Like, I don't even know what that is, because that's how my whole life has been. Like, I've just done everything all the time for everybody. I love it. I'm not resentful of it, but I think at the time, like, I guess when you're getting into marriage, I think for men, sometimes
they want to be the one.
They're not really, when they get married or when they're thinking about marriage, they're thinking about, I feel like sometimes they're thinking more about what the wife is going to do for them in the marriage. And they're not thinking about what it's like on, like, a Tuesday night when she's pregnant and there's a 3-year-old that needs to be changed, whatever, potty trained.
Who's gonna step in?
Limited resources. And I'm having a nervous breakdown.
Exactly. Like, they don't see what that
you do, and who is training you to become the husband that you say you want to be so badly.
That's true. That's true.
I think that's something that needs to be more emphasized, especially in the church when we're talking about gender roles and all of that. That's the reality, that, like, life doesn't just go really
smooth,
the way it was.
Few hiccups,
single, young and 22 years old, and you have all the resources and whatever. It's completely different when you are down in the trenches,
of it.
It's real. It gets real fast.
Real rough and tough.
So
listen, man, that's a hard season you guys just described there, because mental health and the challenges that come with it is not something that I find family members really know how to deal with when they see a loved one going through it. A lot of people don't. Like, my personal story, when I was diagnosed, my family especially, my family, they were just like, just shake it off. Like, what is this? What are you talking about? Depression, anxiety. What is that? You better get up and go to work. And it's just like, even when it's diagnosed by the doctor himself and you're given medication, they just look at it like, I don't see what the problem is.
And that's where I was. Like I was,
Yes.
and I was kind of just like,
Yeah.
just
What is?
make it
Come on.
pray
You know
more,
what I mean?
you know,
Yes.
yeah.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Like, trust and
Right.
believe, and, just believe that it's going to be okay and that, you'll be healed. But sometimes you need more than that. It's okay for them to say that, I received it, but you need more than that, an underlining issue than just pray and fast and so forth. I find you need a bit.
You really need a holistic approach.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
word.
Psychology, psychiatry. Sometimes you need a hospital visit. It depends on what the situation is, but yeah, it's not. It's
not
just a one-fold approach.
Exactly.
Most of the time.
Yeah. I read somewhere that every marriage is happy. It's like once you're living together, though, afterwards, that causes a lot of trouble. And I think what that really means is that love evolves. You kind of touched on it a little bit. So I really appreciate the honesty that you guys shared in answering that deep, dark season, what that was like for you guys. Have you ever faced financial stress? Haven't we all?
No, never.
I don't know what I just spent $100 on at the store. Like, I literally just walked out like this with a
big bag full of things.
No, a small bag.
Oh,
nothing. Of at the grocery store, and I'm like, I just spent $100.
Yeah, on this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So financial struggles. I think everybody's kind
of going through that, eh?
I am grateful to God that like we are fine. I'm able to stay home. I'm able to pursue an education, pursue my master's, and he's holding it down for the family, and he's an excellent provider. Multiple streams of income, rapper, barber, sir. How many things do you do?
Nice.
Streams of income. So we're able to get by, but
financial stress.
Been sometimes where
minimal.
But you know what? I am a master accountant, accountant, and we've been able to make it work the whole time.
I love that. Tap into your passions outside of that, multiple income. I was looking at your lineup and I was like, your lineup is it's too crisp. You know what I mean? And that's all I'm looking at. I'm just like, it's a bit neatish. You spend time on that. That's all you, eh?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I do it pretty quickly because I'm used to it. But I was a barber for many years, so
yeah.
I'm still a barber, but I was a professional barber for.
Okay, before you got into what you're doing now, more nice. Now, what almost broke the both of you? What almost just broke you individually, would you say?
Individually or as a couple?
Individually and as a couple. What just almost broke you guys when you're just like, yeah, man, this is a really strong one. That's, I don't know.
If you had asked us this last year, I wouldn't have been able to. I'd be like, nothing almost broke us.
Really?
Amazing.
That was your year last year? Oh,
yeah, we had a 2000,
a tough year.
2025 was as far as like as a couple.
Yes.
2025 was probably the year that we came the closest.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why was simply a family dynamic.
Okay.
It was a family dynamic that we just couldn't see eye to eye on, and I wonder if I want to get into it.
Get into it.
She wants.
Yeah, I think so. So I've had a
It's so bad.
I've had a tumultuous, is that a word? Relationship with my father throughout my life.
Yeah.
And she was there for a lot of the worst times. She witnessed a lot of things that even I couldn't really, because I was in it.
Yes.
I couldn't really see the damage that was being done.
Okay.
But she was able to observe and see, look, this is really toxic. This is not good.
From the outside looking in. Yeah.
But I was kind of raised to accept that
it was normal.
that dynamic.
Okay.
And she was like, no, this is not. And I was trying to get her to also
accept it. Yes.
And she was like, no, I'm not going to accept it. And it got to the point where we would argue about it so much. Last year, I would say, was the biggest year. We'd argue about it so much that it was almost like, look, it's one or the other. If you're gonna accept this dynamic and stay in this,
then
I can't be a part of that.
Ooh.
And so on. And it got to the point where it's just like,
that was like the ultimatum right there.
Yeah. I would say that was
it. I think the deeper issue was more just attachment styles. I don't know about that.
Yes.
So we have very, very different attachment styles. I don't remember what the attachment styles were.
So you're anxious attachment.
Anxious attachment.
And I'm avoidant attachment.
He's avoidant. Yes. So it was very, very difficult to get down to the root of it. But once we did, I think we understood where we were both coming from. I felt unsafe. And he...
Not from me.
No, not from... from somebody else. And I wasn't going to compromise my safety. And that was one of the things that was a hard no for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he felt like he wanted to avoid the drama that comes with like facing that head on. And for me, that was extremely frustrating. Like I didn't know where to go with that because I'm like, listen, this is not negotiable.
Especially when children are involved and so on.
Children being involved, no. So that was tough. That's some real stuff, guys.
The attachment styles that you guys mentioned, what were they again? Which?
So anxious attachment style and avoidance. I believe for those who
that's interesting.
Some of the traits that you get with like. I'll speak for myself, and some of the traits that you get with avoidance style is like, our feelings are not always present, and sometimes they're in the background. Like somebody might say something to me, and I don't let myself live in how that makes me feel. I kind of hear it, put it in the back,
yes,
and keep it moving, and then maybe it'll be there somewhere.
Yes.
But I kind of don't let it, like it's not there right away, right? With her style, it's like someone says something to her and she feels it and the weight of it
it's
there, you know what I mean?
I think I'm that one. Okay, good. I just had to hear it. I'm like, which one would I identify with? I feel her right there right away.
And then like the name says for avoidance, it's like, I typically want to avoid drama.
Yeah.
I typically want to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because my job now, I'm always...
You're the front of that, right?
I'm running towards it. But by nature, I want to avoid conflict. I want to avoid drama. So the dynamic is set up a certain way, and it's like, it's been this way my whole life.
Yeah.
I don't want to go in and mess things up and make it all awkward, and now my family dynamic is all weird because of me.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, he ruined everything, and so on, so on. Where she has like, no, you gotta, if something's wrong,
you gotta
fix it. You don't just let it.
It's interesting. This is so tit for tat. It's like a tug of war, but it balances out. As much as it sounds like you guys kind of don't meet, you guys balance each other off very well, very, very well. I relate to that part of it. Just the anxious attachment. If someone says something to me, I feel it really, really, really heavy. It goes on for weeks, and people are like, "You're still on that?"
Yeah,
I'm like,
she's like that.
You know what I
mean? I'm not gonna swear.
Yeah.
If I could get rid of one thing that I do is rumination and just sitting there thinking, mulling over.
Exactly. I do that a lot. And just hearing you guys, you're just like, that gun.
Put on
said, like, how do you not remember?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
If I'm sitting there and I know if I sit silent, the thoughts are gonna come out. I'll put on like a Marvel movie or something.
Yeah, you really suppress it. You're like, no. Yeah. So when that happens, what do you do to not let it, weaken or get to you? What do you do to say, you know what? It doesn't eat you alive. How do you handle that? Yeah, man, there must be a way because it keeps going. There must be something that comes up there. You're like, all right.
Girl.
Yes, all right.
Only thing I can say.
That kind of helps with it.
Sort of. cognitive behavioral therapy is really good for that. Like, am I catastrophizing the situation?
Yes.
Really say it that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Can I confront them and ask them what they meant by the thing that they said? It can mean somebody can say one thing and they could mean it a million different ways. And so I try to give people the benefit of the doubt now. And I also try to recognize that my feelings are valid.
Exactly.
And my perspective also comes from a lot of childhood events.
Okay, I wanted to touch on mental health and marriage. You know, just listening to some of the answers that you guys are giving me, mental health showed up a few times throughout the marriage. You know, with Alana, you're an advocate, a big advocate for mental health. How does mental health show up in your marriage? You touched on a little bit of the story, but how does it show up and what does it look like?
Yeah. Well, now I think after years of therapy and the right combination of medication and family support, I think we have a better handle on. I have a better handle on my mental health, and I think that really being able to maintain that together is a really bonding experience, like exercising together, talking about our feelings, working through problems, communicating well. But when there's times where for some reason, I just can't that day. Like, I'm just not,
and that's just it.
I'm
Yeah.
not functioning. He's now understanding, okay, Alana needs support. And instead of listening to me, like, emotionally beat myself up all day, just recognizing that, hey, like, Alana, you're not well today. Like, when he says that to me, it like stops me in my tracks.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, oh, I'm allowed to not be well. Like,
Exactly.
that just stops me.
Normalize it.
Thinking I'm strange or I'm weird for having these feelings.
It's okay.
Whatever. I recognize that, like, oh, I actually need support. When somebody's not well, like, if they have a cold, you take care of them.
Yeah.
And the person who's not well isn't like, dang it, like, why do I have to
Yes, exactly.
why do I have to be like this or whatever? Sorry.
Yeah.
I recognize that, like, oh, it's okay for me to not be okay today. Because he's recognizing that I'm not okay. And the kids are like, oh, mommy's just not feeling well today. Let's help her. Let's get her some tea or give her a hug, give her extra love. And that's okay.
I like that.
Family dynamic.
As they say, it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not be okay. Man, I can see you are getting emotional with this one because I totally connect with you on that. The mental health piece is just something that we need to normalize talking about it more so that people don't feel kind of like alone or different and distant. We touched a little bit on therapy. I'm in therapy. I have a therapist and I find it very helpful, you know, just being able to speak to somebody, no judgment, and having them walk you through some of the situations and things that you're going through. How important would you say therapy is in marriage? Are you both in, or is it just...
Yeah. I'll get my part out of the way because she'll have a... so for me, therapy was something that I never thought about much growing up, or before I met her. I never really thought about therapy, and even after I never, like, into our marriage, therapy was something I was like, I don't need therapy, you know. But I, you know, saw what it was doing for her, and we've had therapy as a couple. We've had therapy. I still have therapy individually.
Oh, nice.
I mainly got therapy more recently, the past few years, for my job. But I find all the sessions end up being about my life outside of the job, especially the relationship.
Okay.
So it's helpful, and it's been helpful. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
For me, therapy, it's been a long road of therapy from age 12 when my grandmother said, we gotta get you into therapy. There's something.
Wow, at
that
such
you
a young
need
age.
support.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need support. I wish I had been able to get consistent support from that point
From that,
on.
okay.
Or else I probably wouldn't have had as many issues as I have
Yeah.
now. But unfortunately, she couldn't afford to continue the support. But I recognized that time I was like, I really wish I had somebody to talk to about how I was feeling inside, because you know, I didn't have my mom and my dad at the time. I was living with her and my aunts, and it was just not. I just didn't feel like I was able to tell. It's easier sometimes when you're a kid, to talk to a stranger about how.
But as you get older,
like for me at the time, some kids find it harder, but I felt like I just didn't really want to tell them how I was feeling, because it's almost like they were very, very eager, and I felt like, I don't want to tell you what I'm feeling. Even though I loved them and they loved me, it was just hard. So from then, as soon as I was able to fund my own therapy, I recognized it was something that I had to do. But one thing I will say, if you are looking for a therapist, be patient, because sometimes you might have a few sessions with a specialist that you think is going to work for you, and if for whatever reason their personality doesn't work.
It's true. It's very important.
It's okay to say, you know what,
we don't really mesh. Exactly.
You're paying them.
Yes.
There's another, if there's a possibility of another therapist that you can try out, try them out. And there's actually a really good website called, I think it's called Psychology Today.
We're going to put that in the bottom of the link for you guys.
I'll find out the exact name, but it's basically a website that allows you to search through a database of psychologists, therapists, psychotherapists.
Nice.
All our database of all of them, and you can find somebody who specializes in trauma, ADHD, or cognitive behavioral therapy, and you can look for somebody who's maybe faith-based, if you're faith-based, or you know, if you want a Black Caribbean woman who really understands what you're going through, your family dynamics. There's a plethora of different to go with that will be there for you to work through your issues with. And again, if somebody doesn't work for you the first time, it's perfectly fine to find somebody else. And also recognizing that there's different styles of therapy. One therapist might be focusing on your childhood issues, and you don't like that. You want to maybe you want to find somebody who does more focused therapy on like what's current happening.
Exactly. That's the one.
You call the shots. You're the one that needs the help. It's not there for somebody else. It's there for you. So you can tailor it to your needs. So that's what I've done. I think over the years I've seen about probably about 7 or 8 different counselors. And I've landed on one that really fits my right now. And there's always going to be different needs. Back when I was more faith-based, I needed a counselor that understood my faith.
Yes.
And when I was a kid, I needed a counselor that understood, you know, child issues. And but now I need somebody that understands trauma and my cultural issues. So I've changed based on
that. And a lot of people don't think they can do that. You know, you said that you've changed based on your need. Again, she says it's you that's paying for it. And, you know, I went through that as well, where I had a therapist and I was like, I'm doing a lot of talking and you're not really saying nothing. You know, I need to hear something. And then I was like, all right, we got to switch. And another one, and the current one that I have is she just picks up on a lot of things without me saying it, and I'm like, I think this is the right one. You know, I'm just like, how are you doing today? I'm like, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. I'm like, I am fine. No. I'm like, shoot, it's not working. She picked up. So it's true. You do need that therapist that can tap into those things and you know, allow you to explore some of the deep issues that you're going through. So again, I've been promoting it on this podcast for a long time. Therapists, if you don't have one, look into exploring and getting one, because it does help you a lot.
Definitely.
let's touch on the family life. You guys have a beautiful little mini family. Do you have the 2 girls or a girl and boy?
Girl and boy.
Girl and a boy.
Mhm.
Girl and a boy. You know, how do you balance marriage and family?
That is an interesting question.
Yeah, how do you
They
balance
are
that?
so full of life
Yeah.
energy, and it's hard, but thankfully, you know, we do have a lot of family support. Like my dad is there a lot. That's why we're able to like just
Come here and be with us on the Monie
It's
podcast.
romantic for Valentine's Day and kind of talk.
Nice.
It's being intentional about taking time to be alone, because the kids need. One day they're not going to need us, and we will still be expected to have a relationship. So recognizing that still should come first, and you know, and even taking time to spend time together with them, and modeling the behavior that we want for them to have in the future. So that's always a part of it, right?
Yeah. Do you want to touch on that, Danny?
No, I think she
Yeah.
said it, but yeah, it's hard to remember. The kids have been, you know, an important part of our life for so long. It's hard to remember a time before that. And thinking, wow, if we had the freedom, like just the freedom that we had.
Yeah.
Now it's like, even when it comes, especially when it comes to like things like trips,
Yes.
right? It's like, okay,
And getting away. Yes.
our trip now, we gotta get 4 tickets. You know what I mean? Like or going to a movie theater. It's like, hey, yeah, that's 4 times, you know, like the amount and all of that. So, yeah, but like you said, being intentional, being like, okay, let's, of course, for things like Valentine's Day, but every now and then it'll just be like, hey, we haven't spent time alone for a while.
Yeah.
It's just a random day. Let's just do something this Friday or this weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll do that. So being intentional is important, because if you just go day by day without like being intentional,
Yeah.
there's so many stories of couples that raise their kids. They're married, they raise their kids. The kids get older. The kids leave the
nest. Yes.
and the couple realizes they can't stand each other. And they go their separate ways,
Yeah.
right? That happens all the time.
Wow.
So for me, I know on my end, and I'm sure on her end too, I'm being intentional to make sure that doesn't happen.
That doesn't
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make sure we still love each other. There are some days where we can't stand each other. It's just natural, right?
Just gonna say
But as long as those days are not the norm,
Yeah.
you know, those
That's
come and
key.
go,
Yeah.
right? They're gonna be there. They come and go. When you're married, as long as we've been together, those days are there. They come and go, but it's don't live in that. You know what I mean? As long as you don't let that become the norm.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't let it
It's
become
good to
the norm.
remind yourself that you actually like each other. Like sometimes I'm just like, I don't like you, bro. Like, get away from me, yo.
Oh, yeah.
And I like you, bro.
And then when we go, oh, I actually really like you.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, how do you guys keep the romance alive while parenting? Like you guys mentioned,
That's
you know.
it. Being
I feel
intentional.
like there's 2
Right.
modes, like parent mode, like and we'll get dressed up and be like, oh, hi, like, nice to meet you.
And if you're not careful, the kids can end up being a dividing force as far as like some of our arguments will be over
Okay.
the what we're doing with the kids, or what, you know, how we're dealing with the kids,
Yeah.
right? Some of our arguments will be over that. But you got to just recognize it when you see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
Nip it
and
right
not-
there.
and let
Yeah.
it become the norm, right?
Yeah.
It's when you let things slide,
Mm-hmm.
and you keep letting things slide, that's when I believe
That's when it.
things become an issue.
Mm-hmm.
When you just let it keep building and building and building, right? So sometimes I'm stubborn. Like, I can be pretty stubborn. And sometimes it's like, I really don't want to, because my thing,
Mm-hmm.
this is my avoidant attachment style. I just get quiet. Like when I'm mad, I get quiet and isolate.
That's me.
Okay, so you have that too.
That's me.
I
That's
get
me.
quiet and isolate. And she's more like,
You know she's mad at.
yeah, like, so I'll want to be, you know, like I want her to feel the silence, but I'll be like, okay, I got to suck up my pride, because even though it might feel good in the moment for me, like I might feel like, yeah, I'm sticking it to her
Yeah.
in the moment, I know the fallout is not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to like put my pride aside and just be like, all right, let's talk.
Let's talk it
You know?
out.
So there's a lot of that.
All right. I hope you guys are enjoying our conversation. We're going to touch on the date nights, which is, the real reason why I was so drawn to your page. I follow both you guys online, and they post some stuff that make you just be like, man, these two are living it up.
she posts more than me, but
Yes.
He's a homebody. Let me tell you, like, I have to drag this man out of the house. Hello.
Yeah, and it just inspired me to say, okay, I want to invite them both to come because, you two post like date nights. I see you guys go out and you do so many fun little things. It feels intentional. This is not for show. This is our love life. This is how we're living. And I think so many couples stop dating once they get married. And it becomes like bills, kids, schedule, and romance becomes like an afterthought. But with what I've seen, you guys even explain, we have to be intentional and bring that back up. We can't just let it just, just wither.
Yeah.
Why are date nights so important? Tell me a little bit about why they're important.
You say why they're
Yes,
Well,
tell me why they're important.
thank God for her because, like she said, I'm a homebody. So thank God for her.
Just say, come, get up, we're good, we're good.
And before I would resist more.
Yeah.
Like,
no.
But now I'm just like because I recognize the importance of it.
Yeah.
And because I just don't want to be that guy that's always saying, one thing I appreciate about my beautiful wife is I feel like the older we get, the more I feel like I'm. how can I word this? Like I don't feel like I'm married to some old lady or something like that doesn't. You know what I mean? She keeps things fresh,
relevant.
Yeah.
That's right.
Obviously, her appearance as well. But
Yes.
she also keeps things fresh. She's always she makes it easier for me because she always knows what's going on in the city.
Yeah, she just tells you, just put on your clothes, we going out.
Pretty
And
much,
just,
right?
she planned the whole thing, eh?
always dragging everybody out.
And usually when I try to be spontaneous and do something, she's like, like
Flop.
usually,
Joking.
It's like, thanks for trying. But
So I'm trying to find that balance where it's like, I
Aw.
don't want her always to be the one,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I need to get better at
What
paying
can I do to
attention-
offer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that, but like paying attention to what she actually wants
These ones and what she likes.
instead of what
and-
I think she would like.
Oh, I love that. That's
Because
important.
I'll do something. Oh, she's gonna love this.
And
Because
then,
I spent a bunch of money and I
Yeah.
elaborate. And she'll be like, thanks, but I would have preferred something simpler and more meaningful. So I gotta get better. I've been trying to get better at
tapping into that. That's nice.
dog.
Yeah, the giant dog.
my first gift to her.
Was a giant dog? Like a stuffed animal?
Yeah, it was like Valentine's
Scariest
Day.
thing I've ever seen.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
Valentine's Day and I saw this giant dog. And I was like, she's gonna love this. It's so big and expensive. And I bought it. She was like,
Oh, where I go with that?
Scared of that. But
Oh.
not a real dog, not a real dog.
I know. Yeah, stuffed.
I kid you not, it was like from here to here.
Oh my gosh.
It was like a life-size
I appreciated that it was so big.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
probably very expensive, but it was very scary
Yeah.
to walk into my apartment every
Yeah.
time.
So it was like a dog. It wasn't those cute little puppy dogs.
Oh,
Like a dog.
hound
It
dog.
was like a Rottweiler or something like that.
Oh no! I thought it
I
was
don't
like
know what
one
I-
of those soft little,
I don't know what I was thinking.
those little, like almost like a Scooby Doo type of little dog.
I don't know what I was
I
thinking.
appreciated how, life size and large.
So it looked real, eh?
It looked like a
real dog. Oh no, then I wouldn't be feeling that too.
gotten
Then
a lot better.
no. So what'd you say? Did you just say
I
thanks,
was like, thanks.
or did you say
Everything
thanks, but
I
get it out of here?
and open the door. Oh, God. Dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just thought it was
I have to say, I'm so sorry.
I thought
but
bigger was,
yeah, we're gonna have to throw this
I
out.
thought bigger was better, so
Aww.
Sorry.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That's so funny. I really believe attraction isn't automatic, and you guys really show that it's maintained. You guys had to maintain it, and as you say, she has a way of keeping it fresh, and just coming up with the ideas. What would you say to couples who say, "Man, we're too busy. We ain't got no time to be doing nothing"?
Not everybody is the type of person that wants to go out, but you need to find something that you enjoy together. Whether that's like some people are just more homebodies and they like watching movies or just painting or doing something like just make it
something
special, make it feel like
just with the two of you.
Or just reading together and like or discussing what you're reading. It doesn't have to be. That's just my personality. I love going out. I love concerts. I love, going dancing and stuff like that. That's just my thing. And I love to enjoy that with him. And there's things that he enjoys that I go out with him.
Yes.
So
it's balance.
It's just about what you like personally. Yeah.
Now we have some young couples that are listening. I want to get your advice that you would share with them on like courting. What would you say to a young couple right now that's focused, that what they should focus on before marriage? They're courting, they're getting to know each other. What should they focus on before the marriage?
One thing that we established from the very beginning of our relationship, even before we got married and started dating, was communication is going to be the key aspect of our relationship. We're going to communicate. So, and we've held on to that throughout our whole time together. How long have you been together?
How long have you been together?
22 years.
Oh,
years.
Well, we've been married for 15
on and off.
years.
Okay.
I'm 16. But we were together
since 2003.
Yeah.
So 23 years.
And then the on and off time,
22 years.
Whatever.
Yes. We count those.
So throughout that whole time, it's been communication.
That's a big one.
To the point where I'll talk to some of my guy friends, whatever, and they'll be like, "You actually talked about that with your wife, or you actually told that to your wife?"
So communication is
kind of like friends. Not everybody started off as friends.
And that's
the way we did.
That's a good segue.
Yeah.
Friendship, like make sure you guys
start off as friends, or make sure you are friends.
And another thing is get to know yourself first. Don't just jump into a marriage because it gets, like I said, it can get real fast. Get to know yourself, figure out what you like, what you even want in a partner, like before you court, before you get into any kind of serious commitment. Because once you make that commitment, that's it.
That's it.
And then,
so
I love that.
To know what you like, what you want, what you can give to the other partner. It's not just about what you want to receive. I'd say, especially for women, making sure that you know what you want in a partner and not compromising on that, and recognizing what your needs are, and also fulfilling your own desires and stuff. Like that was something that I recognized later on. Like I kind of self-sacrificed like a lot. Because I thought it was the Christian woman thing to do. But then recognized later, like I didn't accomplish the things I wanted to because I was self-sacrificing.
Giving so much of yourself.
So not to say that people outside of Christianity don't, but I just find that a lot of women that I spoke to about this, they happen to be Christian. They happen to be able to relate to what I'm saying. So really take that time. Get to know yourself.
That's true.
And really have a well-rounded understanding.
That's a big one
in a marriage. Yeah.
Don't just hop into it. Really get to know yourself.
And don't let your family tell you
you're running out of time.
The timing of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
it's time to get married.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
To have a baby.
Tick, 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 tick.
Go on your own time. They're going to talk regardless of whether
that's pressure
to have the baby or not. You have a baby, when you're going to have another one. Oh, you're not raising them right. Everybody always has something to say. Just do your own thing. Live your own life. There's no point.
Truth. Right there. Sorry. We got to. I love that one. Love that. It's true because a lot of family members tend to, put pressure on that individual and say, when are you getting married? Or how come you're not dating anyone? And it makes you feel like you just have to just do it. And then you don't think what you're doing. You just want to grab and just get into that. Oh, so it's true. She brought up a really, really valid point right there. Did you want to add to that, Dennis?
I was going to, but I think she
kind of just took it there, eh?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
All right.
The next one.
We are going to get into a little fun game. So if you're listening to the podcast, you want to go on the YouTube channel so you can see what we are doing. I'm going to play a game with you guys, and I'm going to give you 2 hearts with arrows. This is going to be a fun one.
Oh, cute.
So it's called Built for Love. Who's most likely to?
Okay.
So based on my question, you're just going to point the arrow because maybe people aren't really watching. You're just going to say the name with it.
Okay.
So if I say, who's most likely to run around the block, you say, Dennis. But the arrow will point to him. And if it's you yourself, you point the arrow to yourself.
So like this? Okay.
That way and then that way.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Who's most likely to take longer to get ready?
I'm not moving. Dennis.
Really?
Dennis.
You look like you want more.
I disagree. Alana.
Dennis.
Divided on that one.
Dennis.
I am so surprised.
Who when we're
Yes.
it's time to go is
In the carrier.
putting on stuff and still trying to figure out
Tie. It depends. Tie.
this man and his beard.
Oh, that takes time.
Listen, you think it looks like that? He explains it to me.
The maintenance with that, eh?
By accident.
Woo-wee. That was an interesting.
Tie.
Makeup, contour, hair.
Shave legs, shave everything. I did not expect that. She answered right away. She didn't even think about it. She's like, yeah, the arrow 10 went there.
Any given day, it could be any of us.
Wow. All right, that's an interesting one. Who apologizes first? Okay, so if a little disagreement or anything, who's most likely to say, you know what, I'm sorry.
Dennis.
Yeah, me.
Okay, the arrow now moves still. Eh? Who spends more money? Who does a little bit of splurging, a little bit? You're like, listen.
Okay.
If we're talking about splurging,
Yeah.
Me.
Really?
talking about
Well, I splurge more than you do.
if we're talking about
Splurge.
like
Yeah, man.
spending money on things that
Yeah, like you didn't need to get that, okay?
yeah, but then again, yeah, you know what? We're going to
He's more of a consistently, buying the same
Things. Oh.
kind of thing.
yeah. So
Whereas I will go out and just be like,
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
this cost
Alana.
$200. Like, really feeling
Alana.
bad about
Yeah.
it. But he never makes me feel bad about it.
It's just like, you deserve it. Just put it in the closet. Who is more dramatic?
Oh my gosh, me.
Alana.
Alana is more dramatic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I try to get him to actually be more dramatic because his reactions to things are just like that face. That face. That's the most reaction you'll get from him.
Who's most likely to plan the anniversary trip? Yeah,
Alana.
Alana.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm the accountant. I have to.
You have to keep it on the books, get the discounts. All right. Who's most likely to cry during a movie?
Yeah.
Really?
But you do cry. You do cry.
Watch you.
Sometimes, but you're more likely to.
Yeah. Or I'll just tell him to turn it off. Anything to do with anything scarier to do with kids getting hurt, or even the inclination that kids are getting hurt.
You're
I'm
like, yeah,
no,
we ain't watching that.
no.
Okay. This one I think we know now. Who gives silent treatments longer than
I actually do.
Really?
If we're talking about long.
I can do it for a long time.
I thought it was you, Dennis, based on what you said, right? Like, I need to be silent.
I do it, but I'll be like, all right, we gotta end it.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't do this, but
Yeah.
It'll be like a week, like,
you don't move, you don't budge. You're like, yeah.
still not talking.
If she's gonna give silent treatment, she'll do it for longer.
Wow.
I'll have to break it up.
But they say women do that. Women tend to be able to do that better than men. Who's most likely to catch a case over the other person? You know what I mean by catch a case?
Yeah. Probably her.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I'm a voice. I like to.
Oh yes, you did mention that.
She's
She'll be like,
confront
bring it.
drama head on. So.
We here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, Alana.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like
And her friends.
What did you just say?
If you're her friend,
Oh, yeah. No.
and you're her friend, and someone does you wrong,
Ooh.
you want her.
Stay
You want
away
her
from
in.
me.
You want her in your corner.
Stay away from
So,
me.
I love this. We're getting to know the couple.
Away from me.
mhm.
Very interesting. And who's more romantic?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Who's more romantic?
I would say
I think there's times where
No, this is a tie.
been
I would say
romantic.
I make more romantic attempts.
Uh-huh.
I just have to I haven't mastered like sticking the landing yet. I gotta get better at sticking the landing. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with me. You like romance more, but I feel like I make more.
You make more romantic efforts, and then she's
Yeah.
all right. And who said I love you first?
Me.
Yes.
It was you that said it first,
Yeah.
eh? Yeah.
I remember the date and time. Well, not the time, but I remember the date.
Yeah.
It was way back when you guys first started to.
Yeah.
And he said it. How did you feel when he said it? You're just like, thanks. They're like, thanks.
No,
you said it back.
Butterfly moment, like
Aw.
hearts everywhere. Yeah, it felt very romantic. Yeah.
Aw, I love that. Just hearing your guys' story, the snippets, the highlights, it's been very, very good. I hope you guys are taking notes. Write down some nice little things that you heard because Valentine's Day weekend, some nice little golden nuggets you guys dropped. I want to get into a segment of my show called Good Things Are Coming. This is the segment of the podcast where I leave our listeners and our viewers with a positive affirmation to get them through the week. So I'm going to drop a little good things are coming, and I'm going to have each of them do their own little good things are coming because.
Okay.
So, today, Valentine's Day weekend, I want to say that good things are coming because when two people choose each other daily, love grows deeper, not weaker. Thank you. So, Alana and Dennis, I'm going to have you guys finish the sentence. You can do your own good things are coming, ... and then you do your own good things are coming.
Good things are coming because we keep choosing each other.
Aww, that was nice.
I'm saying it to her like.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're going to say it.
You,
Okay,
but
all right.
She said it to you. She looked at you and she said it. That was so nice.
Good things are coming because each day is an opportunity to be better than the day before.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Poetry.
Yes. Poetry. I love that. I just want to say I want to thank the both of you, Alana and Dennis, for being here. You were both vulnerable. You shared insights into what a good marriage looks like, the up days, the down days, and, just for showing us that love can mature, that date nights matter, that, faith anchors, and that marriage is work, but it's worth it. Would you like to share your social media handles or any upcoming events that you guys have going on? Anything that you want to drop with my listeners and viewers?
Sure. I mean, I'm back on Instagram.
Okay.
So, Dennis Dunkley. You can find me that way.
Is that just my name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
my Instagram handle is at the mindful of the heart. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So I just share a lot of just takes on social issues and
mental health tips and
nights.
stuff. Yeah. Her page is good. Follow them. We're going to also have that in the bottom of our description so that you guys can connect with the two. Again, I want to say thank you both for being here. This was a blessing, and I hope you touched someone listening, and that you guys were moved by our episode. If this episode blessed you, encouraged you, or challenged you, please like, subscribe, share with a couple, or send it to someone believing for love. This has been episode number 30.
wow.
Woo! It's a milestone. It only makes sense that I had you guys come on. Until next time, remember, good things are coming. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye for now.